Ideogram 4.0 got released as open source text-to-image model. And it is not so interesting, or is it? I tried to find out. The model has been uploaded by ComfyUI, and support for the model has been released. Make sure you update ComfyUI using this update batch file, or run this file if you are on the stable version of ComfyUI. So these are the SafeTanswer files uploaded by ComfyUI, and this is the folder structure to place those files. Above is the link to the open weights released by Ideogram. I will scroll down to see the features of this model. And here are the key capabilities mentioned. Extreme controllability. The model is trained on structured JSON captions. Normally, the training data contains an image and a file with a caption. Based on the caption, the model understands what we are asking in the prompt and gives us the result. So we should give a structured JSON containing information about composition, style, lighting, and color to get the best out of this model. This should allow us to get the exact type of image we want. If you wonder what JSON is, just think of it as a different style of writing your prompts. And if this looks complicated, then there is a JSON prompt generator. Here, my prompt was about a golden retriever on a skateboard. And with the help of the Gemma model, the JSON prompt was generated. Below is the style description with the color and other values I spoke about. Further, there are the background details and other elements that should be in the image. The first element is the dog balancing on the skateboard with some other information. The next object details are about the skateboard, followed by the asphalt road and the details of the sun creating shadows. There is a detailed document of what values can be added here, so you can edit the prompt and then use it to generate the image. The SafeTanswer file is selected on the subgraph, goes inside to a clip loader, which makes the prompt for you. So back to features. And I will be quick. This is good at text rendering. You can provide the location details for the subject and object in the prompt. Again, this comes under controllability. You can give the HEX color code in the prompt to have the same color in the image generated, which is controllability. Below is a quick guide to the prompt. Like using a JSON prompt for controllability, we can specify the color code and adjust the resolution, which is again controllability. This model can generate 2K images, which is good. For the resolution, you will get this node, which provides multiple aspect ratios for the specified pixel size below. We can specify the coordinates to position each element in the image, which is again controllability. To get this workflow, you can check inside the template section. Apply the filter for Ideogram and load the workflow. In the workflow, there are these direct download links for the required files. I have downloaded and saved them in the folder structure shown below. This will be used in the text-to-image workflow, and the Gemma 4 model below will be used to generate the JSON prompt. On the right, there is a note with some information about the model's controllability. And then below, there is a note that says that if you see an image blocked by the safety filter, it is because of the safety training, which means you cannot see what you want to see after having full controllability. Note that two diffusion models should be working together in this workflow. So the total size becomes around 15 gigabytes. The unconditional UNet was selected here, but it also works with only one UNet selected in both the places. This means it will work on smaller graphic cards with one model, but it affects the quality of the image. Inside the subgraph, everything was almost the same. Models, prompts, empty latent, and then the sampling node group. This node was added by me. Actually, it was suggested by Silver Oxides, the guy on Hugging Face. Below there are some presets. If we select the quality preset on the subgraph, the number of steps and other values will change. A quality preset will take 48 steps to generate. The default preset is somewhere in the center with 20 steps. And Turbo is the fastest, which takes 12 steps. The value of the selected preset goes into the scheduler, and the image is generated accordingly. This image was generated with Turbo preset using the default prompt came with the workflow. There is a lot of noise in the image. I thought I did something wrong, but that is how it is. I will try a different prompt, which is above, and run the workflow. The quality preset with 48 steps took around 200 seconds on my 5060 Ti, 16 GB. And the image generated is good. But the difference between the Turbo preset and this quality preset is not huge. The 12-step Turbo preset took 50 seconds, and the difference is subtle. The image on the right is a bit sharp. I do not see any other difference. Now I am using the JSON prompt generated by the Gemma 4 model, which is about the golden retriever skateboarding. This image is from the 12-step Turbo preset. And on the right, I have the image generated using the 48-step quality preset. The difference I see is the sharpness with better details. I generated this image with a quality preset to check whether the objects are being positioned as specified in the prompt. The image generated has some kind of pattern with a slight noise to it. If we look at the objects, then around 75% of the objects have been positioned correctly, and some are missing. I tried again, and this prompt is by Ideogram, which worked and placed 85% of the objects as instructed in the prompt. The small printed label mentioned in the prompt, I never expected this would work. Ideogram has also released its prompt guide, which has lots of information. It does take plain text prompts, but it will respond better to the structured JSON prompt. This is about changing the plain text prompt to the JSON prompt, which we saw already. The JSON prompt is in key value pairs. This is the key, and the prompt on the right is the value of the key. From this section, the guide explains what value is recommended against the key in the JSON structure. Above was the prompt, and below are the image styles. You should be able to refer to these style values with the default prompt in the workflow. The next key value explained is related to the background, with a list of elements. These elements can be an object or text. Position of the object. Detailed description of the element. This key is related to rendering text, similar to the one we saw on the wooden train. And then the color of the element. Make sure you do not change the structure. I mean these brackets and the comma at the end. If it is present, then let it be there. There are a few examples given below for better understanding. And at the end, there are a couple of lines about the safety filter. This safety filter will come into action even if you try to look for a woman. Inside the subgraph, I showed you this node, which was added later. I added this due to the safety filter. Keep it after the scheduler like this, with the values visible here. You can try changing this sigma values if you want to experiment. I will try after completing the video. I feel like okay with this model. But I also think the workflow in ComfyUI with the default settings has some mistakes. So that was it in this video. I will try some more sampler and scheduler combinations to see if it works. If it works, then I will make a community post with the workflow. Let me know your thoughts on this. I wish you an excellent day. The default workflow has the CFG value of 7. Make it 3.5. There is a slight improvement. I found this workflow on the internet that creates the stuff with complete control you may be looking for. It requires a few custom node installations, which was done using the Node Manager. You will need to look at this node, which creates JSON prompts. I tried to avoid generating the image by giving a prompt here, but multiple elements still managed to produce the Japanese image. And these elements came from here. These boxes can be created and edited. The same will be appended to the list of elements, and the image will be generated accordingly.